Nice. I'm gonna actually go have the wife and I do date night, and we're going to this place. Smoked, so good, so good.
I don't know if this is like a national chain, but there's a Sugar Fire in St. Louis. Oh, it's so good. It's a barbecue place. I just went there a couple days ago. It was really good. It was kind of expensive, but it was good.
Everything's expensive right now, but no, I don't. There's definitely not one out here. So. What's up, guys? Getting ready to draft here. Just waiting for a couple more with Nate. We're just waiting on Nate. Let's check one more time here. He is like ever not ready.
I didn't get a chance to read your like all the trade thoughts, the thoughts you had on the trade. Can you run by those real quick if you remember?
All the trades? Damn, there's a lot of trades.
I'm in the league, so I know it's a bunch of trades. I think a couple of them were with me, but
yeah,
I don't remember what your team was at the very start of that.
Let's see. I went from
I know your team's super deep now. You got like a lot of guys on your bench that are pretty good, honestly.
Yeah, so I started with all right, so it looks like Nate's on. All right, so here we go. We are starting. So my team was Russ, Stafford, Wentz, Devontae, Zeke, Pollard, Stevenson, Cooper, Sutton, McLaurin, Cooks, MVS, RSJ, Everett, Johnny. Now it's Russ, Stafford, Goff, Swift, CEH, Hunt, Edmonds, Jefferson, Pittman, Hollywood, Juju, Devonta Smith, Andrews, RSJ, Everett, Johnny. So definitely like a lot of moves I made. Let's see where some of the big ones.
The one for Swift, was that league?
Yeah.
That one was huge.
So I think,
the one for Andrews also.
Yeah, it was huge. So the first big one was I got Aaron Jones, Justin Jefferson. I gave up Courtland Sutton, Javonte Williams, and a 2023 first. Yeah, you and I had some, but nothing. Like I don't think we had a major one. I got Evans and Pittman. I gave Nick a 2025 first, a 2024 second, and a 2023 second. I think the biggest one you and I had was Cooper. I gave you Cooper, and you got Juju. Or I got Juju and Devonta Smith. And then the Andrews one. I got Andrews and Gibson. I gave up Zeke, Pollard, and Freiermuth.
You got Andrews and Gibson for that?
Yeah. And then the Swift one was the one everybody was upset about. I got Swift for Sutton in a second.
Yeah, I mean,
probably
I wasn't tripping. I mean,
come on.
I feel like it's not like you were. No offense, but it's not like you were ripping off like Stinger or anybody like that. Like you weren't preying on some little kid with that.
Yeah.
But
oh man.
I feel like I used to like the 10 spot last year. This year, I don't know if I like the later picks as much, just because I have no idea who to take in these spots.
I really don't want to take CMC here, but I'm alright. Yeah, you guys. All right. I mean, let me pause it. Hey, did you want Jefferson or did you want somebody else? I've talked up Najee too much for 1-2.
Is that crazy?
What's up, Roberto? It's not crazy for me. All right, so that was a pick. But I think it's crazy for most drafts. I don't think he goes out.
I took him at the 106 in a startup.
All right, I'm going to get crazy. Let's go. You can't find this soundtrack on YouTube because I don't think it's on YouTube. It's StreamYard, and it's just one of their royalty-free songs. I don't know, one of their royalty-free things. I don't know how you found it. To be honest, I have no idea. Maybe contact StreamYard. Maybe they can help you.
Wow. I really don't like this spot at all. This is crazy. Yeah, I'm really hoping I get a top half pick in this year's redraft league. Okay, I thought I was gonna be crazy for taking Mixon there, but he goes right after, so I feel a lot better.
Yeah, Mixon. I think that's good for Mixon there. I like Mixon.
I remember last year people were taking Mixon the first round. You guys were clowning them, especially Bill.
Bill definitely did not like Mixon in the first round.
I liked Mixon last year. I had just been burned the previous year because I traded for him while he was hurt, and then he never came back. That was my only issue.
That was really the only issue with Mixon last year was like dude just had to stay on the field, and he did. So,
like I remember he was going like the third round. Like he was going so late last year.
In these drafts he was. It's funny to look back. Like we're gonna look back at these drafts that we're doing right now and be like, wow. Remember when we were taking like so and so at this part? Remember this guy was falling to this far? It's every year.
Yeah. Like I remember people were like legitimately saying, no, Brandon Ayuk is the number one in San Francisco last year and drafting him like the third, fourth round.
Yep.
And Debo was falling. Cup was I was taking Robert Woods over Cup.
I was taking Cup. Wow. Most people like the soundtrack.
I didn't even realize it was my turn.
Yeah, you're up. I was taking, like, early in the offseason, I was taking Cup, but then towards the end, I started taking Woods more. So.
I had some Cup in redraft, but I think I only had, like, a few shares of them. But I'm not going to play in as many leagues this year as I did last year because I just could not keep up with, like, 20 different redraft leagues and like 5 or 6 different dynasty leagues. I just couldn't do it.
It's terrible.
That's why I feel like that's why a lot of people just do best ball. You just draft and then forget about it.
Yeah, for sure. It's why I could do like 800 best ball leagues last year because it's like you just draft and then you're done. But you still want some like dynasty and redraft leagues because you want to have something to do during the season and you want to like
make trades,
waiver wire,
that's the fun. I like just like sitting in bed at night and looking at everyone's roster, like, oh, who could I trade for?
Yeah,
I just do that. Like on my lunch break at work, just let me see what trade I can make. I know you like Chase Edmonds a lot. I made a trade a few weeks ago. I traded away Chase Edmonds, Jameis Winston, and a 2024 third-round pick for Aaron Rodgers in a Superflex Dynasty League.
I mean, I probably prefer Rodgers. I mean, yeah, I definitely prefer Rodgers. Like, he's a huge upgrade from Jameis. I mean, I like Edmonds, but it's not like I think Edmonds is going to be like a top 15 back or something, and a third-round pick, whatever. Yeah, I like this guy better.
Okay, good. Because I like Edmonds too this year. As long as he can stay healthy, I think he could be top 20. I don't know about top 15.
Yeah, maybe top 25, maybe top 20. He'll have some nice
24,
weeks.
yeah, somewhere around there.
Yeah, he's not gonna be like crazy good.
No. He'll he'll be all right.
We'll see if going running back in the second hurts me.
Yeah, same. I went running back. I'm really hoping that
Yeah,
the
that might get tough here.
I'm starting to like AJ Brown a little bit more. As soon as he got traded, I was just completely off of him. Now I'm kind of starting to warm up to him a little bit.
You know, I'm starting to like him less.
Really?
Yeah, it's like I don't know. I don't know if he's gonna get the volume he needs.
I mean, he didn't get great volume in Tennessee, though. I'm not saying that Jalen Hurts is the passer that even Tannehill is. And I don't think Tannehill is some great passer, but he's better than Hurts. But he wasn't getting crazy volume then. I mean, J.D. McKissick was getting more targets than A.J. Brown, and you know that.
Yeah. I don't know.
And I think they got him. I think they traded for him to feature him heavily. I think he's going to get at least 8 targets a game, which I don't know how proficient Jalen Hurts is going to be, but that could be enough with his talent, his yak, and all that good stuff, his touchdown rate.
Wow.
I mean, it could. I don't know. I'm a little nervous. And his ADP hasn't really fallen much. That's the thing. He's still like, I think if we look at the board right now, like I would definitely prefer Pittman over him.
Pittman, yeah, Judy.
Prefer Higgins over him. I just feel
Judy,
I don't know. Judy's close. Like Judy, Sutton, they're close.
I think I would take Judy for sure. I don't know about Sutton.
I think people are a little high on Judy. But we'll see.
I like Judy. His ADP from last year to this year, it hasn't risen as much as I honestly thought it would. Like, I think him and CeeDee Lamb are like closer than people really want to admit.
I think CeeDee Lamb is way overvalued too.
I think him and Judy are closer than people want to admit. But yeah, I also think CD is a little overvalued. I can't take him at the turn. That's a little early for me. And yes, Judy over Sutton any day of the week, 100%.
I don't know. I mean,
100%.
we haven't seen Judy do it. We've seen Sutton do it. And Sutton has the perfect quarterback for his game. Now, Judy has a good quarterback for his game too. But like, there's a reason DK Metcalf was being drafted higher than Tyler Lockett. I mean, I get it. Tyler Lockett is older or whatever, but he's not like ancient. But because DK Metcalf gets the deep field, the down the field targets, the outside targets, and that's where Russ is really, really good. I mean, he's good over the middle too. So I think Judy's going to have a higher floor than Sutton week to week, but I think Sutton's going to have way more big games and have way more touchdowns. That's how I think.
I don't even know if I could. I definitely think Judy's floor is higher on a week-to-week basis, and I do agree. I think Sutton's ceiling is probably higher, but I think Judy, he's catching all the intermediate, all that type stuff. Sutton's catching all bombs, all the deep.
But that's the thing. Russ isn't a guy who will just settle for the intermediates. Like he'll buy the time to look down the field. So
I don't know. Judy's been the number one in this offense for the last 2 years, honestly. I mean, obviously, Sutton tore his ACL the first year. And
I mean, how many games did Judy play?
I mean, Judy,
He's
yeah,
already,
he got hurt.
he's already got an
past
injury
year.
again.
Yeah, he's got a groin. Yeah, let's not even talk about the groin.
Is this going to be Curtis Samuel 2.0?
Better not. Did you see Curtis Samuel was doing sideline work at OTAs the other day?
Well, yeah,
It might have been yesterday.
Justin knows what's up. Sutton greater than Judy. I think it's really close. I think it's really close between the two.
No way. No way.
Really close. I think it's really close between the two. It's like Cup and Woods last year, except they're both younger.
I'm taking Judy every time. I don't think I wouldn't take Sutton in the third round, to be honest with you.
Why? But why? Like, there's that big of a gap between Judy and Sutton. Like, Judy is just so much better than Sutton that he's going to Cooper Cup him. Like, no.
Okay, I don't know if I would take Judy at the 3-3. I don't know if I'd take
well,
either.
Who are you taking over Judy behind him? Deontay, Cooper, Waddle, McLaurin, Marquise, not Godwin with his ACL. Oh, you took Godwin. What are you doing, man?
When he comes back, he's going to be on demon time.
We've seen the ACL. We've seen that first year back from ACL, man. It's tough. And what are you going to do with Cooper if Watson gets suspended for like a year?
We're just worried about it on the field. We'll be right by the playoffs. We might have to make a couple waiver wires.
Yeah, you definitely might have to work the waiver wire.
But when the time's right, I watch this one YouTube channel. They're called In Game, and they've always told me that the last 5 weeks are always more important than the first 5 weeks, and don't panic if you're 2-3.
That's true.
Just ride the wave. You'll be fine. You'll be fine. And at the end of the day, I'll come out, and he who laughs best.
This is true. This is true.
And I hear those in-game guys are pretty smart.
All those guys. I would take Marquise Brown over Deontay, Cooper, Waddle, McLaurin. I still want to take Marquise over the Broncos wide receivers.
I'll take him over Sutton. Not Judy.
What's the difference between Marquise Brown and Cortland Sutton? Other than Cortland Sutton is way bigger. It's a way bigger target.
Marquise Brown is the number one target in his offense for at least the first 6 weeks.
Only for 6 weeks. The first 6 weeks, which we just established don't matter.
Oh, that 6 week matter. The first 5 don't matter, but that 6 is the first important game.
Okay, you guys are gonna let me get Patrick Mahomes here. I'm gonna take Patrick Mahomes. Like, you can't tell me.
I just feel like he wasn't. I know it's a new quarterback, but I just feel like last year he was not targeted nearly as much as Judy.
Nobody was. Judy averaged like 5.5 targets.
I know, and that wasn't even good.
They threw the ball like 15 times. Well, too bad Marquise isn't playing with Lamar anymore. I'm pretty sure.
Plus, the Cardinals like to spread it around a lot more, especially when D-Hop is there because he attracts so much attention. Yes. So I also like Marquise when D-Hop comes back.
Okay, Marquise had 91, 1,008, and 6 last year with Lamar Jackson. Cortland Sutton had
Boo-boo.
72, 1,112, and 6 with Drew Lock. So, yeah.
Are we talking about pre-injury or post-injury?
This is good as Marquise Brown last year, but with a way worse quarterback.
But are we talking pre-injury or post-injury?
Yeah, but now he's second year from the ACL. Like, Cooper Kupp tore his ACL, and look what he did last year. Like,
I don't think Cortland Sutton's Cooper Kupp.
It takes a year. And Sutton still had 776 and 2 with freaking when they weren't even throwing the ball. They weren't even throwing the ball last year.
Because he wasn't open. He couldn't get open.
No, that's not true.
Yes,
they were attempting like 15 passes a game. They weren't even trying to throw the ball.
Because they were like, oh, Cortland ain't getting no. He can't be one-on-one. We might as well just run it 15,000 times. You know what? I have not drafted this guy this year. We'll take him here.
Jerry Judy had a nice 38, 467, and 0 last year. And you guys are
He's
acting
hurt.
Like, you guys are acting like he played 10 games. He averaged 3.8 receptions per game, 46 yards per game. He had 5.6 targets per game and no touchdowns. And you guys are acting like Jerry Judy is like this god of wide receivers.
He's a way better route runner. I don't know who has better hands because Jerry be having the dropsies too.
Sutton
Probably
has
worse than Sutton.
freaking man hands. Come on.
He snatches it out of here. I'll give you that.
And Russ is not going to be afraid to chuck it in there. He's going to see Cortland Sutton in the end zone and just be like, screw it. Just going to chuck it to this guy.
But I think on the low key, it's going to be KJ Hamler catching them moon balls.
Well, when Jerry Judy's hurt again, because dude can't stay healthy, it might be KJ Hamler.
Take this guy here. Jay Herbo.
Yeah, there's some serious quarterback value in this draft. Herbert at the 6th?
Yeah, I also do like Tim Patrick a little bit. I mean, I obviously like the whole offense, but everyone will have their role. I'm telling you. Like, I remember last year when Stinger was like, Judy's my bust, and everyone freaked out. I think Sutton's my bust this year. I don't think he's meeting expectations this year. I'm low on the guy.
Well, we'll see.
But to be honest, like, I really don't know. Let me look at the board. See who would I take over him where he was drafted. I'll take Deontay.
What?
Yeah, I'll take Deontay.
No upset.
Full PPR. Yeah, I'll take Deontay. If you tell me Deshaun's playing 12 games, I still probably wouldn't.
I would go Cooper over Judy and Sutton if I knew Deshaun Watson was only getting like 4 to 6 games.
I don't know.
I'm going to get 4 to 6.
I believe in Deshaun, but I think Amari Cooper is a magician. This dude be disappearing all the time.
Yeah, but dude, he's the only wide receiver they really have. Like, yeah, they got Peoples-Jones and stuff, but like, come on, those guys aren't.
But they don't have to throw if they don't want to, is the thing. I mean, they just paid Deshaun to throw the ball 60 times a game. But if Amari's disappearing, who's he throwing to? David Bell? I mean, I guess.
And
Peoples-Jones.
All right, I'll stash D-Hop for 6 weeks and then have him as my flex. This is nothing here right now.
Yeah, I've been talking too much. I don't like my team.
Yeah, see, now you understand, man.
Yeah.
It's not easy to draft and narrate.
I know, like, half these picks, I'm like, oh, there's like 30 seconds left.
So we got Chris Carson update. Yeah, it looks like not looking good for Chris Carson, but now Kenneth Walker's dealing with a hamstring. Right? Lance is going to be a top 5 QB. I mean, he's got the legs for it. Gabriel Davis will have better numbers than Judy and Sutton. You are not going to like the video we put out on Monday. Don't watch it. Don't watch it if you're a Gabe Davis fan. Oh wow! I didn't even see you join, Nate. My bad.
I see how it is.
Yeah, right. But it's much easier to draft when you're not talking, right?
No, it really is.
It really is. It's like all of a sudden you're like, oh crap, I'm on the clock. Who am I going to take here?
The real trick is don't pick up a quarterback or a tight end, no matter how tempting the board is, and you'll be fine.
Well, yeah.
Not today.
I couldn't really pass on Mahomes at 5-5. I still like my team. I mean, I got Chase, Sutton, Robinson, Hopkins. I got Barkley. I got Mahomes. I like my team.
No, I'd love to rely on DeAndre Hopkins this year. That'll be good.
Hey, he's my flex. My flex when it matters.
Hey, the last 5 games are more important than the first 5. That's all I know.
That's for sure. That is for sure.
And I know the last 5 games, my team will all be there.
You hope. As long as
We'll
Deshaun
be
doesn't
fine.
get that full year suspension.
If he gets a full year, I'm out. I'm done. I'll actually be really upset because I drafted him last year and in the cut.
For this year.
Yeah, and I was like, oh, this is my year. And now he's still dealing with this. And I had Ridley. My team was just so poised to win this year. And then it just got 2 of my top players just
And I traded you Cooper. So if Deshaun I know this is a reach, but I want the stack.
Wow.
If
If
Deshaun
Deshaun does get suspended, then I'm screwed with Cooper.
yeah, you're screwed on both ways. DJ Dallas. Time to unleash DJ Dallas. Maybe it'll be penny season again. Who knows? Maybe it'll be penny season.
For like 4 games.
What is up with the Seahawks running backs, man?
They need a new trainer.
Something.
Washington still doesn't have a head athletic trainer,
Dude, Washington is a mess. They're a
which is
mess.
why we couldn't draft guys like Jameson Williams, Kyle Hamilton, anyone with any injury concerns. They just took them off the board. They don't have a head trainer. They couldn't check them out. But I've been hearing good things about Jahan. So
Yeah, he's been looking good. I mean, it's mini camp. Everybody looks good, but still.
yeah, sure. But, I mean, Jamar wasn't last year.
He was just dropping passes. It wasn't like he was running the wrong routes or like, he was just dropping passes.
I feel like Dotson's going to have an Elijah Moore season where, like, everyone sees why he's hyped up, but because it's the same thing. You saw the same thing with Elijah Moore last year with the camp hype, but, like, the bad situation. It's not a good quarterback throwing to him. It's kind of crowded as a wide receiver room. Like, you'll see him flash. You'll see why he's worth something. I wouldn't want him in fantasy this year. I don't know.
I mean, I don't really want anybody tied to Carson Wentz. Let's be honest.
I don't want any Washington rookies ever. But I feel like he's a Terry McLaurin clone, just a little bit smaller and a little bit slower. Like, they talk the same, they sound the same, they look a little like they kind of play the same. It should be nice. I don't know who I'm taking here.
McLaurin was what, a top 5 wide receiver in reception perception that just came out? Like, it's pretty
Well,
good.
I don't know because there's more to it than just the route tree. There's also like how he does against man, zone, press, all that sort of stuff. So when I get my subscription here, which I will be doing very, very soon, then I'll be able to dive in. We'll be able to look at like, okay, this is how he did in different situations. This is how he did. The chart is just, like kind of like the service level. I will say one good thing for McLaurin this year with Wentz is Wentz actually was good throwing the deep ball last year. But I think we're going to see the same McLaurin of last year where there's going to be like a week where he scores like 25, 27, and everybody's like, yes, and then he goes like 2 straight weeks where he scores like 6.
But you know
Everybody's
who
like,
also
"What the
does that? You know who also does that? And people are taking him in the 4th round? Mike Williams. He is Mike
Yeah,
Williams.
Mike Williams does that, but at least Mike Williams is attached to
An elite offense. That's the only difference.
Mike Williams got hurt, week 6, week 7 last year? And up until that point, he was like a top wide receiver in the
he
league.
was
And I know he gets
awesome.
hurt every year. I know, but the ceiling's there for him.
Terry's ceiling is high. It's just he doesn't hit it very often.
well, that's the thing because like
Mike Williams hits his ceiling like 5 times a year.
I think the difference for Mike Williams, and I'm not really a guy like a huge Mike Williams guy, but I think the difference is as much as I love Keenan, we've already seen, I think we saw last year a little bit of the demise of Keenan. Like Keenan only had, I think, 20-point PPR games, and they were barely 20 points. Like, he had no ceiling last year. He had a nice floor, of course, but he had no ceiling. So if we see a little more of a demise of Keenan as far as his age is getting up there, just loses a little bit of step, maybe we see Mike Williams get more of a target share, and that could propel him to like top 10 status.
I just think he's too much of a one-trick pony for that.
What's up,
How much
fans?
Gallup do you think we get this year?
What's that? What did you say?
How much Gallup do you think we actually get to see this year? He's the guy coming off.
I don't even care. I just posted in the chat. I am not drafting first-year ACL guys anymore. I'm done. It's even when they're back on the field, they're not the same. They're just not the same. Like, second year off ACL, that's when you want to get them, because that's usually when they're fully back to health. That's why I think we can see a big Sutton year. I think we can see a big Saquon year. We're not going to see a big Dobbins year, probably. We're not going to. I mean, Gus Bus not going to see a big year. Probably not going to see a big Godwin year. Probably not going to see a big Gallup year. Not that I don't think we expected a big Gallup year, but
I think J.K. Dobbins is maybe an exception to that, only for this year, because he has a full 12 months to recover.
It doesn't matter. You know who the only exception was? Because he's a freak of nature? Adrian Peterson.
Durant?
No, Adrian Peterson.
Well, that was Achilles, but yeah.
No, Adrian Peterson was ACL.
Yeah.
And I think it was 8 months later, he started week 1 and he ran for over 2,000 yards that year. Like 8-month recovery and he ran for over 2,000 yards. But that's because Adrian Peterson is an absolute freak of nature. Other than that, like if you're not like Adrian Peterson, which J.K. Dobbins is certainly not Adrian Peterson, then yeah, I just don't see how.
I think he'll be good this year. I'm not expecting him to go for 1,315 touchdowns, but I think he'd go for 1,010 for sure, easily.
Okay, 1,010. You're like running back 20.
Yeah, I'm not saying that's great, but I mean, people are acting like he's just been a bust.
It's not that he hasn't been a bust. It's that he hasn't been great. Like, he hasn't really done anything. He's been okay.
He's like the Keenan Allen of running backs. He's just super consistent. And speaking of Keenan Allen, him and Justin Jefferson are the most consistent fantasy receivers I've seen over the past 2 years.
Okay, I get why Jamar Chase is, like, people are like Jamar Chase over Justin Jefferson because he's the shiny new toy and he's a rookie, and Joe Burrow. But Justin Jefferson was better than Jamar Chase as a rookie, was insanely good last year, and he's only competing with Adam Thielen and KJ Osborne for targets, not T. Higgins and Tyler Boyd. Like, what? Like, no. No.
Love Justin Jefferson. I love Jamar too. LSU for life.
And dude, look at Jamar's game logs last year.
Yeah, it's the consistency for me. Justin Jefferson's like rarely under 10 points. Rarely.
And he still has a ceiling. Maybe he doesn't have
crazy
a
ceiling,
point ceiling, but he has like that 30 point. That's just fine.
Yeah. If you get 30 from your best receiver, you should win.
Hardly any team's got a bye with Jamar Chase unless they had like JT and Cup or something like that, right? Like if you probably didn't get a bye. And in week 15, Jamar Chase got 1 catch for 9 yards and probably eliminated you from the playoffs, and you didn't even get to have his week 17 game.
It might have been the toilet bowl.
Like there was that stretch from week 8, 7 or 8 until week 15 where he only had like 2 good fantasy games and all the rest were terrible. They're terrible because he's got another great receiver there in T. Higgins and a pretty good receiver in Tyler Boyd. So, yeah, I like Jefferson way more than Chase. I mean, Chase is still my 3 because I can't put anybody else over him, but to me, Kupp and Jefferson are in a tier by themselves. And then Chase is in like a tier by himself.
That's how I feel about running backs. Like, I feel like JT and Najee are in their own tier, and then we can start talking about other guys.
I agree.
But I don't know. Did you hear Najee said he's expecting less touches? I don't
No.
know how I feel about that.
That's not happening. He's got Benny Snell behind him. You really think?
Yeah, I was
like,
about to say, I don't think he has a choice.
Exactly. You really think Mike Tom is going to be like, okay, let's give the ball to Benny Snell more?
I thought he meant they'll just try to pass more and like do less dump offs, but they're definitely not subbing him out.
No. I mean, sure, they may throw the ball more. But I mean, I'd feel better about them throwing the ball more if maybe they didn't have Mitch Trubisky and Kenny Pickett. Maybe if they had
Baker, if he gets cut, they said they're making a move.
maybe if they had gotten like Matt Ryan, let's say. If they had gotten Matt Ryan, I'd probably be like, yeah, they probably throw the ball more.
Wow, this is the 9th round already. Draft's been flying by.
Yeah, they're going to try to give Derrick Henry 400 touches, but I don't think Derrick Henry can handle 400 touches. I'm not feeling good about Derrick Henry.
Where's Pierre?
He's on vacation.
He sent me a trade. I've been really thinking about it. It was he would send me Derek Carr and Eli Mitchell for Derrick Henry and David Bell. And I already have Najee and James Conner. And I don't really want to give up David Bell is the thing. I'd rather give up like a pick or something.
Okay, I
Is
think
that
you have to do that trade. You have
Is that in the cut? Is that a super flex?
No,
Yeah, I
it's
think
in,
it's in-game dynasty, I think.
yeah, it's in an endgame league.
That's still super flex though, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, you take that all day long.
You have
for
to
Carr.
take that trade. You have to.
Yeah.
Go click accept. Derrick Henry, best case for Derrick Henry is he has like one more good year in him. Then you're talking about a 29, 30-year-old Derrick Henry who already last year had, if you look at his here, let me pull up his player profile.
But the thing is, David Bell is my second best receiver because I have Keenan Allen, him, and then D-Hop is suspended.
You don't know.
Turn
if
around
David
and
Bell
trade
is your
Mitchell
second
for a
best
wide
receiver.
receiver to someone who's never heard of Kyle Shanahan. Like,
You don't know if he's
people
going to be your
still value
second best
Mitchell.
receiver.
Either that
Derrick
or
Henry.
that's why I was talking about Carson Wentz, because if I get Derek Carr, like this trade wins.
So Derrick Henry in 2020 ranked number 4 in true yards per carry, number 8 in juke rate, and number 1 in evaded tackles. Okay, makes sense. He was awesome. In 2021, he ranked number 43 in true yards per carry. Number 43. Like, he was terrible last year, at least as far as like, I shouldn't say it was terrible. He just got tons of volume. He's got tons of volume. He was actually really bad. Like, he showed signs that he's getting old and slowing down. And now he's coming off of a foot injury. He's going to slow down even more. He's getting older. He's not going to be able to handle 350, 400 touches anymore. You got to take that trade. You got to get rid of Derrick Henry while you can.
Even past that, Carr is a good buy right now in Dynasty.
Exactly.
You're talking about
I love this
super
value
flex.
right now.
It's the most, absolutely. It's the most important position in super flex. He's got an offensive-minded coach that's going to scheme a ton of yards. You have Waller, you have Devontae, you have Renfro. Like, that's a good offense. I love Carr right now in Dynasty, honestly.
Yeah,
they're committed
to that trade. You don't know if David Bell is even going to be good. And I have David Bell. Doesn't mean he's going to be good.
Trade Elijah Mitchell for a wide receiver. I'm serious.
Also, Derrick
Henry. Trade him for
Henry.
Renfro. Get a stack. Like, I don't care.
Also, Derrick Henry, number 1 in breakaway runs in 2020. That fell all the way down to number 12.
He also played half the year. For him to be 12 and half the year is actually kind of insane.
Well, okay, but he went
breakaway
from,
runs.
But he still averaged about 1 less per game if you do it on a per game basis. So I mean, yeah, it's still good, but the end is here for Derrick Henry. The end is here.
Man, I just keep seeing that ceiling, and I'm like, this guy could really just.
Look, you might regret it for like 5, 6, 7 weeks. But the wheels are coming off. He's not. You think Derrick Henry is going to make it 17 weeks, getting 25 to 30 touches at this age, when he already is starting to break down? No way. No way.
Yeah, you're right. I can't get caught up on David Bell.
No, and David Bell, we don't know. And he's the only rookie I drafted in the cut. But that doesn't mean I think he might be terrible. We don't know.
I think he's sliding to that Jarvis role.
Yeah, I mean, I think he could, and which is fine, which is solid.
Nice PPR floor, yeah.
But and again, what happens if this year he's stuck with Jacoby Brissett because Deshaun Watson is out for the season, suspended, and then he is terrible and his value is nothing going into next year. Actually, the second tier, so Butts says I might be crazy, but I'm loving the second tier running backs more than some of the tier 1 guys. Look at a lot of times that's where the league winners come from, that second round, right? Like last year I guess JT was a late first, early second. Najee was the second round.
Well, it depends when you drafted, because after Carson Wentz and that lineman got the list, he was going the back half of the second. Like the 2-8, he was going around there for a little bit.
Patterson will be on every waiver wire by midseason. Midseason at the latest. Midseason. There's no role for Patterson. There's no role. He's going to just play wide receiver.
He primarily plays wide receiver, and he's still available to start in the running back spot, and he gets targets. I don't know. I could see some use there.
I actually liked him until they.
It's actually better the other way. And I actually got to do this one year with I can't believe I don't remember his name. I loved him at Michigan. He was a quarterback at Michigan, but he was like that. But he played running back for the Jags. What was his name? Remember his name? You guys remember him?
Denard Robinson.
Denard Robinson. So he had running back and wide receiver eligibility on Yahoo. And I was in a standard scoring league at the time. This is when I first started playing fantasy, one of the first years. And I got to play him as my wide receiver 3, even though he was a starting running back for the Jags, and it was such a huge advantage over the rest of the league. Playing a wide receiver at running back isn't really an advantage unless they're an awesome wide receiver. And they're not giving the volume, they're not giving the huge.
I'm just thinking about when Patterson actually contributed last year, though. He didn't. When they had him playing as a traditional running back, he didn't actually do that good. They wore him down. He wasn't that good when they had him running a ton of.
I know, but the problem is, but it gave him fantasy value, right? Because he was getting receptions out of the backfield, which no one's covering him with a top corner when he's running out of the backfield. And he's getting goal line looks, goal line carries, getting touchdowns. If those are gone and he's just a wide receiver, which it sounds like he's going to be, and now he's got Drake London there, they got Bryan Edwards, they have Kyle Pitts. What is his target share going to be, 10%? with a combination of Marcus Mariota and Ritter? Nah. Waiver wire by midseason.
By the way, I'm kind of surprised you took Darrell Henderson over Freiermuth.
And at this point, I'm just not even looking at tight end, to be honest. I literally didn't even look at tight end.
Yeah, I almost didn't draft one until you said that.
I'm just loading up on upside running backs right now, and then I'll grab a tight end, whatever's left in the last round. And yeah, Denard Robinson never finished as a top 10 running back because the guy couldn't stay healthy. I think I got him for he played 6 or 7 weeks, and then he got hurt. But during that time, I had a running back as my wide receiver 3. I was crushing everybody because it was it was standard scoring. So, he'd score a touchdown, get 70, 80 yards on the ground, and it's my wide receiver 3 is destroying everybody because everybody else's wide receiver 3 is getting 5 or 6 catches for 60 yards or something. And they don't even get the points for the PPR. They only get the yards.
Catches, yeah.
They're only getting 6 to 7 points, and I'm getting 12 to 15 every week. I was crushing everybody. It's totally unfair. It was like when it was like the year who was the running back for the Steelers when James Conner got hurt and he had tight end eligibility. Who was that? What was the name? You guys remember?
I have no idea.
Jalen Samuel. And that was the year Le'Veon Bell held out and James Conner was awesome. And then James Conner got hurt like week 14 or 15, which back then it was only a 16-game season, right? So it was like your fantasy playoffs for week 16. And you got to use him as a tight end. So you got the Steelers RB1 as a tight end. Like he was scoring like 20 plus fantasy points every week in the tight end slot. It was so unfair. But I had him in one league and of course I won, and then I lost to him in another league. So I guess
Karma.
karma.
What goes around comes around.
Yeah, it was.
That's the other thing about being in a bunch of leagues. Like, I find myself like having to root for myself and against myself all the time. Like,
Yeah.
oh, I need CeeDee Lamb to go off, but I'm going against him. I need him to like not go off, and like, oh, I'm gonna lose. I'm gonna lose one of these.
Yeah, that is a downside to being in a bunch of leagues.
Oh, when you're in 600 best ball leagues, I'm pretty sure that happens probably every week.
Well, the nice thing about best ball is like I usually don't check.
You don't even look. Yeah.
Well, with tournament, I would probably check like the week before the playoffs to see how many teams I have that have a chance of making it, and then I would probably check every week to see my advance rates. But like in the non-tournament, I just waited till like basically I would look after week 15 to see where I was at, and then I would check again week 16. That's probably it.
Man, I wish Chark went anywhere else other than Detroit, honestly.
For sure.
I like him as a player, and it just relying on Goff to throw a deep ball is just the worst.
I love DJ Chark, that LSU boy.
Yeah. AL
biased.
Cup has gone up to number 2 on Underdog. It's pretty crazy. Cup is number 2 on Underdog.
Do you think there's a chance that Allen is better than either Woods or OBJ? And if he is, do you think that'll cut into Cup's production?
You mean Allen Robinson?
Yeah.
No. I think he'll be just as good as those guys. Like OBJ was really good for the time for the Rams. Like I think I really
his dad was right
The
with the
only
video.
reason the Super Bowl was close was because OBJ got hurt. Like the Rams, I mean, sure, it's a football game and momentum changes. I mean, we saw that in the AFC Championship game. But the Rams looked way better than the Bengals before OBJ got hurt. Like the Bengals looked like they had no way to stop that Rams offense. Once Odell Beckham got hurt, it became far easier because, okay, what are you going to worry about Van Jefferson? Like not really. Like you just got to worry about Cup now. It became way easier for them. I think if OBJ didn't get hurt, the Rams win that Super Bowl easy. To be honest.
I don't know if it's just because the AFC is so stacked or like people just believe the Bengals were a fluke, but I remember like when the Falcons lost in the Super Bowl and the Panthers lost in the Super Bowl, everybody's like, oh, they're so young, they'll be back. I'm not really hearing that about this Bengals team as much. Like people are like, yeah, that was just a one-off. Like it's never going to happen. Oh, not never, but like it's just not, the chances are very low.
It's tough. It's just tough. Like,
and the AFC is stacked.
The AFC is stacked. You got to go through Mahomes, Josh Allen, maybe Deshaun Watson now, Russell Wilson, Justin Herbert. Like, dude, it is
Derek Carr.
It is tough, man. The AFC
Lamar,
is
possibly.
I was going to say, you're sleeping on the Ravens here. They're going to
Lamar. I mean, the AFC is just been
That Ravens defense, that Ravens secondary is about to be on demon time.
Yeah,
they got Marcus Williams and drafted Kyle Hamilton.
I would put
Marlon
a couple
Humphrey.
bucks on them to win the Super Bowl. Honestly, I think they're almost overlooked right now.
All right, Chris, go ahead, grade it up.
Tanya might be one guy that with the ACL that I take just because he's a tight end, and you're not looking for him to, catch 7 or 8 passes a game. You're just looking for him to score most weeks, and I think in this offense he can do that even coming off ACL. So Tanya's not a guy that I'm scared of offense. It's more the position guys that you're going to rely on to pitch. But anyways, let's grade this. All right, Rob J. Will, JT Andrews, Higgins, Juju, Breece Hall. Breece Hall at the 5. That's very good. Dave Davis, Watson, Moore, Boyd. I don't mind that little run there. There's some upside in there for sure. Pierce. I think you can do better than Derek Carr there. I know we kind of like Derek Carr, but I think you can do better than Derek Carr. Stafford, Brady. I don't know who else. What other quarterbacks are still on the board? Yeah, I can't see them now. Anyways, Crowder, Zamir. I don't mind that there. Overall, this is a pretty damn good team. Even though you went running back, tight end to start, you still got some decent upside at wide receiver. Breece Hall, I don't understand. People just way too high on Michael Carter, I guess, or don't like the Jets, but I think he's going to be awesome. Probably would like his team a little more with like Stafford or Brady. I don't know. Maybe Carr is going to surprise us. I feel like Carr's one of those guys who gets hot for like 5 or 6 games and then he like disappears. It's still a good team. I'm going to give this one an 8. It's a good start from the 1-1. All right, Ale, Najee, A.J. Brown, Pittman, Cooks, Bateman. You know Ale's going to have stacked receivers. Sanders, Hunt, Pollard. That's pretty good. Running back 2 depth 2. Galladay, Dak in the 10th. Like, what the heck? That's really good. Why are we so low on Dak this year? Goddard, nothing wrong there. Price, Peoples-Jones. Wow, that's a really good team. It's a really good team. It's a very good team. That's a 9. That's an excellent team. Good job. All right, Gene Hackman, Cup, Allen, Judy, nice. Connor Mitchell, I don't hate that. Schultz, hamstring Walker, Robert Woods, my boy. James Robinson, I don't know what we're gonna get from him this year. Stafford, that's good. Chark, Van Jefferson, okay, take some shots. It's a good team. I definitely like your first 3. I think your Connor Mitchell should be solid week to week. Gold's good. Flex might be a little dicey. You're going to need Kenneth Walker to hit or Robert Woods to not be old and coming off of UCL. Or maybe Rashad White when he takes over that job for Leonard Fournette. Then you'll have an awesome RB1. I don't know how I feel about this one versus the first. I think this is a 7.75. 7.75. Until Rashad White takes over for Fournette, then it's a 10. All right, Nate. Jefferson, Evans, nice. Kamara, the 3-4. That's really good value. Mooney, you just cannot help yourself with DJ Moore. I think you just do it just to needle me. Lamar, you get the Lamar Dobbins stack. That's good because I guess every week you're going to get 1 rushing touchdown, so that's good. Wow, Gibson and DJ Moore on the same team. Why do you hate me? Why you do this? Patrick, Landry, Ertz, Herbert, Jacoby. We don't see him drafted in these very often. Definitely a good wide receiver group. Lamar's great. Running backs, RB2 is going to be a little iffy. Earth's good. I think this is on par with maybe the first team. Like you're stronger at wide receiver, but he's stronger at running back. I might give you a little edge. He's got you a tight end. You got him a QB. Yeah, I'm going to give you on par with that first team with an 8. That's an 8. All right, Brown Bear Rick, CMC Chubb. That could be really good. That could be really bad. Pitts, that's good there. Allen. Now we see what you do with the wide receivers. You got a bunch of like wide receiver 3-ish types. I don't know why you took Damian Harris there when you already have CMC and Chubb. I would have liked to see another wide receiver probably. Tony, Nines. I do like Freiermuth, Bell, Hubbard. I mean, if we assume CMC and Chubb stay healthy, you obviously have 2 good running backs. Wide receivers are very, very, very dicey. Your flex is very dicey. Yeah, that's a 7.5 for me. All right, J22, Henry, Tyreek, Deontay. Man, if this was, 2019? That would be such a start. Zeke, oh man, if this is 2000, Lockett, if this is Kittle, if this is 2019, you'd already win this draft. This is like the all 2019 team right here. Ayuk, Claypool, James Cook, Dotson, Pickens. Now you get some new guys. Brady, Hamler just to tilt cheeks, I'm sure. Cheeks loves KJ Hamler. Let's see, Henry, Zeke. I don't mind. I think Zeke there is good value. I think he'll be a solid RB2. Hill, Deontay, Lockett, Ayuk, Claypool. There's some shots there. You're going to need some of these guys to overperform, of course. Kittle at the 6, that's great value. Brady in the 12th, that's great value. Yeah, I don't know if this is quite on par with the 8 teams. I'm going to give this one a 7.5. It's good. It's competitive. All right, Herbie fully loaded. Eckler, Kelsey, Aaron Jones. All right, so you go the 2 RB, 1 tight end star, which I don't hate your 2 RBs, and obviously your tight end's great. Let's see how help did for wide receivers. Mike Williams, St. Brown, Michael Thomas, Garrett Wilson, Christian Kirk. This is going to be the problem. Out of those 5 receivers, you may not have 3 that you like on any given week. Joe Burrow in the 8, that's good though. I probably would have just kept attacking wide receiver a little more here. I don't hate Madison Spiller or Gus Bus, but I might have gone another wide receiver. Alberto, whatever, it's fine. Yeah, this team really worries me. I think you're just going to have a lot of problems at finding 3 good wide receivers in a flex every week. So even though I don't hate Eckler, Kelsey, Jones, I think just in this format and the guys you grab, it's going to be a real struggle for you. So I'm going to give that one a 7. All right, Albert M. Adams, Debo, Fat Lenny, not fat DK Metcalf. Etienne, that's really good. Etienne at the 5. Etienne's probably going to outscore Leonard Fournette this year, almost for sure, I feel like. Burks, Jacobs. All right. I don't hate it. Hop, Wilson, that's good. Melvin Gordon, Gallup, Algier. I don't know why you grab Gesicki when you have Hawk, but it's fine. Whatever. I think overall it's not a bad team. If Leonard Fournette can get in halfway decent shape, I think Etienne's going to be really good. Jacobs always a guy will get some points. You need him as your RB2. You got Debo and Adams, who I think will be great. Metcalf, I'm down on. Burks, Yeah, still going to have some issue with your flex. I'm going to put you in the 7.75 range as well. All right, Young Money was a double anchor star. Dalvin Cook, Javonte. That's a good double anchor for sure. Then you got the all-risk, all-reward team, maybe. Cooper, hopefully Deshaun Watson's not suspended. Godwin coming back from ACL, MCL, that's scary. Drake London in that offense. Herbert at the 6'3", that's good. I actually really like Lazard. I really like Gage. MVS got some potential. Jameson, I mean, at least see, this is what I'm saying. Like, you went double anchor, so at least you tacked wide receiver and hope, you're just hoping that like 3 or 4 of those guys hit. So I like that you did that. That was smart. Then you get Ronald Jones and Mostert towards the end. Dotson Knox in your tight end. That's good. I just don't know if I can put this with the 8 teams just because of those wide receivers, but I do like the way you structured your draft. So I kind of like it more than the 7-7-5 teams, but not quite as like the 8. So I'm gonna give you like a 7-8-5. That's the first ever 7.85. So congrats on that. All right, facts. We got another double anchor with Mixon and Swift, which I really like. I think those guys could both be really good this year. Waddle, okay. And then I don't understand the Montgomery pick now. Like, if you look at Young Money, you got to do what Young Money did here. You got to start attacking wide receivers. This is a 3 wide receiver, 1 flex league, and I know you go, I got Monty in the flex, but now you're looking at, Thielen and Elijah Moore, which I don't necessarily hate, but then Alec Pierce, Colbert, like, you're an injury or a bust away from really hurting at wide receiver. You don't really have an alpha wide receiver. And Dylan, again, we don't need Dylan. You put 3 running backs in the first 4 rounds. You don't need Dylan. I do like Hurts at the 8. That's good. You got Kenyon and Njoku. That's fine. Back at your late round tight end and Njoku. I think those guys you could play matchups there. I think that's fine. I really just wish you had if you had gone. I mean, think about your team. If you had like Mike Williams, and then instead of Dylan, maybe you grab I don't know if you like Gage or who you like better there or something like that. I think that team is gives you way more chances to have 3, really good weekly wide receivers and a good flex. So, do like your running backs, of course. I just think wide receivers are going to be a little dicey there. I mean, overall, like Waddle, Thielen, and Moore are okay. But like I said, you don't have any true wide receiver 1s on your team. So I'm going to put that with the 7-7-5 teams as well. And then let's go to Cheeks. I'm sure this is an 11, but let's grade it anyways. Biggs, Lamb, McLaurin, Marquise. I mean, that's good. McLaurin is your flex. Don't hate that. Akers, hey, he's got a shot. Waller in the 6. That's good value. Kyler in the 7. That's good value. And let's see, this is what you got to do. Now you got to attack running back because you attacked wide receiver early. CEH, Singletary, and we already talked about Patterson. Jamal. I mean, you just need one of those guys to be decent on any given week as your RB2, assuming Akers is okay. Grab Parker late, grab McKissick late. I like that. I think that's a solid team. I think that's also an 8 team. If one of those RB2s, like if Edwards-Helaire or Singletary or Jamal or something, somehow it's a bigger role, that could be a really good team. So I think that's 8. So there we go. There are the grades. Good draft, everybody. Appreciate you guys being here. Don't forget, check out the link or the description. We got a link to our Discord server, which you definitely want to be in. It's an awesome place to be, and it's only getting more awesome. And when the season starts, it's incredibly awesome because Sunday game days in the Discord is where you want to be while you're watching the games. We also got a link to Underdog Drafts. So you guys want to start doing real money best ball drafts, chance to win $2 million. Check that out. Got the Patreon if you want to support us beyond just watching our videos, which we appreciate you just watching our videos. Check that out as well. I think that about covers it. Don't forget, every Thursday at this time, we do our mock drafts. So if you want to get in them, get in the Discord. That's how you get in them. All right, guys. Nate, appreciate you hopping on, even though I forgot about you. My bad. I'll see you in the Discord, and we'll see you guys next week.